All right, so we're trying to get glute activation, and we know that lunges feel great, squats don't really feel so good, and bridges also irritate the nerve. So how can we actually get the glute activated a little bit more without putting a little bit more stress on that area? I think in most cases, when you're experiencing pain and irritation of the nerve when doing stuff like squats, as well as bridges, I'm suspecting that the low back, the back extensors specifically, are actually acting a little bit more aggressively. So this is how we're actually going to implement glute engagement and more hip hinging, giving you the opportunity to get that leg moving beyond just lunging. And the first one is going to be what I like to call a split stance Romanian deadlift. And what that means is you're gonna have your feet about hips width apart, you're gonna have one foot forward, the other foot back. When you're in this position, you wanna make sure that that heel is off the ground so you can really focus on hinging at the hip. Once you're there, you're gonna take your hips and you're gonna rotate it towards that front leg so we're not open out. And then from here, you're gonna hinge at the front hip and you're gonna slide that hand down and then back up. What that's actually gonna do, it's gonna get the hamstring engaged a little bit more, but as you can see, my back stays nice and neutral, and it makes it a little bit easier to keep those ribs tucked. So that's position number one. Try about 5 repetitions. If your hamstrings are really, really tight, what you can actually do is bend the knee a little bit more and stick your butt out. And if you keep that knee bent, you'll slack up your hamstrings, and then you're actually going to start feeling a little bit better. So that's actually gonna be position number one. This is gonna be really focused on engaging your glute a little bit more. So I would say try 10 per side. You also need to be careful that your hip doesn't jut out, because that's actually where we're gonna start to experience a little bit more of an issue. After that, if that's feeling pretty good, we then go on into a single leg deadlift, where we're gonna be focusing on taking that back leg and you're going to be hinging. Now, the challenge with this hinge formation is the fact that there is going to be a lot of stability that you need to be focusing on. And so if your back is a little bit more on the crankier side, your back might not like this position just yet, but this is a precursor to getting everything done. But we're looking at trying to get that glute engaged. We can build up that glute strength. We can minimize the extension of the back. So the first thing is going to be, first off, doing the split stance Romanian deadlift, bending the knee, driving the hip back so you can feel a nice stretch in the butt, but then use that tension to stand all the way back up. And that should actually allow you to find your glutes.